All right, hello everyone. My name is Charles Thompson. I'm one of the executive team members here at Powur. We're going to welcome you to our ambassador program. Our goal today is to overview what the program is all about and how you can leverage this to whatever extent you want to take advantage of the opportunity in terms of being able to share this message. The program is absolutely phenomenal. You're already enrolled, so the next step for you is to begin to enter your referrals. You'll notice when you log in, the consultant who referred you to the program is always there. You can communicate with your consultant at any given time. I highly recommend that you upload a utility bill in every case that you can. It's not a mandatory requirement. We'll explain today why we recommend that. It's all about success. And then the third step is just to track the progress. You have no responsibility for the ongoing communications with your referral. That's really the responsibility of the consultant, but you'll be able to look and track every single step along the way, all the way through installation. And we'll talk about how that triggers commissions. So a little bit about who we are. We were founded in 2014 by a gentleman named Jonathan Budd. He attended a symposium, really left that symposium with just a completely new vision about how to have fulfilling human presence on earth. That may sound real deep, but it was a very deep movement for him. He saw sustainable energy as the way to do that. And he formed what is called a public benefit corporation. And under California law, a public benefit corporation is really done more, not for the gain of one person, it's really about the greater cause. And you'll see some of the things that we do, for example, and I'm super proud of, is we completely offset all of our carbon emissions. Everything that it takes to get the manufacturing of equipment, to roll the trucks, to get the installation done, and every single one of our employees, we 100% offset all of our carbon emissions. That goes back to the whole mission and vision of our company. What we offer your customers is an out-of-the-box warranty that gives them a 25-year production warranty. I'm going to move my film around here. A 25-year production warranty for the panels, a 12 to 25-year inverter guarantee. That's something that the consultant will take up with the homeowner. A 10-year workmanship warranty, and a 5-year roof penetration warranty. We recently introduced an entirely game-changing insurance program. It's a 30-year end-to-end system coverage. Covers all the labor necessary for panels, inverters, roof leaks, you name it. It's backed by a $10 billion market fund, an A-rated insurance company. It comes with a slight additional cost, but it gives true peace of mind to the homeowner. And that's something the consultant will take up during the process. We have coverage in 20 states. We are the general contractor of record in California, in Texas, in Florida. We are in the process of general contractor applications in 7 other states. And ultimately, wherever we are, we want to be that general contractor as opposed to just being a resource. We want to be the contractor to see it all the way through to fruition. What that does is really assure your customer of a seamless, wonderful experience in going solar. So with that said, how do you leverage the Powur platform? It's really a simple 2-step process that we want to work. Now, this is not necessarily a business venture for you, but we want you to understand how you can leverage that and how you can monetize it, how you can create impact to the planet and create some income while you do that. And the first step is simply to create a list. We call this the memory jogger. Look at anybody who may be family and friends, maybe someone who worked on your home, people who you've worked with in your career, people who might be in interest groups that you're in, maybe on your social media, maybe just in life and sports, etc. Just get that memory jogger. Think about those persons, and then start to create a master list. Because the list is really the foundation of any referral company. It's to have a strong contest list. Once you've got that list, just don't prejudge who you're going to share this with. Just think of everybody. Think of everyone you know. Create a master list of hundreds to who knows how many, potentially thousands of people that you can work with. And then you can start to filter the list after you've created the master list. You might want to put some notes, just put the name, put any notes you think might be relevant, and then start to sort. Not initially, but after you've created the master list. Take it for your warmest contacts first, because you're going to have the best relationship with them. Start with them to build that relationship and start using that as a way to create that impact and income. And then just start whittling it down to your warm contacts. So go from your warmest or hottest to your warm contacts, filter that down to your lukewarm contacts, filter that down to your cold contacts, because your messaging is going to be slightly different with those audiences, right? You've got more of a personal relationship with people who are on your warmest and your warm contact list, so your opening conversation with them is going to be different. Now that you've done the list, next step is just to share solar and understand our mission, as you know, as a public benefit company, is to accelerate the adoption of clean energy on a worldwide basis. And our goal with that vision is to panel 2 million homes by 2025, and we'd love to have you help us do that. You know, there's a number of reasons people go solar. The two primary reasons are economic and environmental. I've been in the industry now for about 9 years, and 9 years ago, people did it purely for environmental reasons. Now, most people do it for economic reasons. The economic benefits, they're going to be different for each market because the cost of energy varies based upon those markets. The environmental benefits are going to be the same no matter where they are. So no matter how a homeowner goes solar, if their goal is to help the environment, it's going to be the same in any given market in the United States of America. And you've seen our map there in terms of where we have coverage. So what we do is we work on a two-step process. There's the first meeting, really is something that you should be doing. You're setting the stage, you're collecting what you need, and you're passing the baton over to your consultant. Again, you have no responsibility to sell, but the more that you can do on the front end, whatever extent you want to take that, then that's just going to assure a smoother passing of the baton and a higher level of conversion. So if you're looking at this for the income side, do a little bit more work on the front end, frame that meeting. There's 5 stages of these leads. So the first is when you generate the interest with the homeowner, and then you submit the lead into the Powur platform. That then goes to the consultant who referred you to use the platform. The consultant then requests the savings report or proposal, and then they present that. He or she will present that to the homeowner either in person or virtually, depending upon where we are in a day and age as a company and as a society. And the 4th stage is where we generate a contract. It's a very seamless process that the homeowner goes through. We educate and enroll. We don't coach closing tactics or pressure sales or anything like that. It's really not necessary. In many cases, it's just simply, I hate to use the term, but a no-brainer for people to go solar. Once the install is complete, that's what triggers your commission. So back in that, where you're tracking the stages, you'll know that the installation completion is when you're going to receive that $1,000 referral for whatever extent of the involvement, whether you get minimal involvement, just putting it in and passing it, or whether you work with a consultant a little bit more closely. That's purely up to you. The only benefit of working closer is you might have a higher ratio of conversion. So the 5-step process is pretty simple. You want to create a conversation with the homeowner. You want to introduce why you're an ambassador with Powur. I coach something called payload, and we'll talk about that. And then you ask a closing question. You're not selling. What you're really going after here is an electric bill, because the electric bill is going to ensure more lineage, more straight up in helping the homeowner go solar. I'll walk you through why. You get that bill and then you submit it to the consultant. So the first part, in terms of having a conversation, I talk simply about something called CPR and FOR. It's 2 simple acronyms. CPR is if you already have a personal relationship back to your warm contact and your warmest contact. That's a little different opening because you have a personal relationship already. If it's one of your kind of lukewarm and your cold contacts, you're going to have to develop a little bit of a personal relationship. And the best way that I found to do that is using the FORD acronym: family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Obviously, on a cold contact, there's not a lot you can talk about their dreams, except for maybe right now during COVID. Hey, you're looking forward to this, you're looking forward to that, right? Where you plan on going, where you plan on eating, all those type of things. So a simple example is, how's the family? How you all holding up during this time? What are you doing for work these days? Or have you been furloughed? These are just really creating a personal relationship, opening up dialogue. How's the golf game? Are you able to have physical activity? Are you able to surf? Whatever the case is, just have some basic warm-ups. And are you still planning on that vacation? Are you going to go on vacation after we're in stage 4 or whatever we are? Use these as just a way to break the barrier down, having a conversation. And then after the conversation, you want to present the homeowner with the offer. And that offer is, have you noticed your electric? Best starting question ever. But you notice your electric bill going up over the past few years. And unless people are got their head in the sand, they probably have seen the pain of the bill that's going on over and over. Today, we're seeing on average 4 to 6% rate increase, even in the lower cost energy markets. At that 4 to 6% equates to about a doubling of those energy costs every 12 years. So if you think about that, you notice your bills, they say no. You know what? I'll bet you I can show you with my consultant that your bill's gone up significantly over the past few years. If they say yes, well, so have I, right? And let me tell you why I'm asking. I recently became an ambassador for Powur. I'm now certified with Powur to help homeowners evaluate if solar is right for them. It could save you tens of thousands of dollars. So if solar doesn't cost you anything upfront, would you be open to at least looking at saving tens of thousands of dollars? And wait for the answer. It's a pretty simple, typically, sure, I'll take a look at it. Then you want to get into, what am I doing here? So all I want to talk about is why I'm an ambassador with Powur. I want to learn maybe your questions, your ideas about solar, and I'll possibly explain some of the misconceptions, but my consultant's really good at that. I want to kind of learn a bit about what you already know. And then what I'll do is I'll gather a little information from you, and then I'll have the Powur Energy Consultant set up a free proposal, get that in your hands to see the immediate and long-term savings. Sound good? Great. All right, well, what that looks like is, first of all, what are your thoughts about solar? Have you ever looked into solar? Get them thinking, get them conversational. This whole framework should only take you about 5 to 15 minutes, depending upon how much you want to interact, how much information you want to gather to set your consultant up for success. Some analogies you can use if you're in a conversation now, you're not pitching. Think about today, what we're paying for gas in some markets is the lowest I think I ever remember since high school for me. I paid $1.05 for a gallon of gas when I was traveling through Arkansas. $1.05 a gallon. Now here in California, it's about $3 a gallon, right? But still lower than it's been for a long, long time. So you can frame this two ways. What do you think about our gas prices today? They're crazy. You think they're going to stay there? No. Well, if you could lock in that price that you're currently paying for gas right now at this rate and know that it will never go up, would you take advantage of that? And the obvious answer is yes. Well, that's kind of the conversation about solar. Do you happen to know how much you pay for a kilowatt hour of energy? And most people don't. So you're opening up to see where they are, getting the knowledge. Well, a kilowatt hour is really just a measurement of the energy you're using, much like a gallon is a measurement of liquid. So if they don't know, then that's a great time to say, just shoot me a copy of a recent bill, and I'll have the consultant, whomever their name is, explain that to you when you connect. That bill is going to help the consultant set you up for success as well. So grab me a copy of that bill, and let's figure out what you're paying. What we look for in the bill, just so you're fully informed, is there's really two areas. Sometimes people will take a snapshot of one section. That's not enough. We really need to look at the usage and the charges so that we can actually show the value proposition. Here's the way I usually explain it. There's 130 million single-family residences here in the United States. 90 million of those are eligible. So if you're one of the 40 million who are not eligible, I don't want to waste your time, nor does my consultant. And the three things we look at, number one, we look at how much energy you use on an annual basis, because that's going to tell us how big the system needs to be, or how small the system. It's going to tell us how much it's going to cost. The second thing we look at is how much you're paying for the energy, because that's going to tell us the economic value proposition for you. So without knowing those, we really can't tell you what you need. And just so you know, this is how we determine that. We take the total bill, all for electric, all the taxes, all the fees, all this and that. We divide it by how many kilowatt hours they use, and that actually tells us what their true rate per kilowatt hours. So compare that to a gallon of gasoline. This is the price per kilowatt hours. You don't have to be an expert at that. You just need, I want you to understand why we ask for a copy of the bill and why it yields to more success, because it gives us the two things out of three we need. The third thing that we do as consultants is we look at the roof. We look at the home. We look if there's any reason that it may not be eligible for solar, and we'll be able to determine that pretty quickly. With the bill, we got the first two out of the way. You've helped us with that. Our consultant responsibility goes into this third step. The more you do, the better. A couple other hypothetical analogies. So now that you know what a kilowatt hour is and what you're paying, what if you could lock that price in for the next 25 or more years? Much like the gasoline conversation. People would say, yeah, I'd be interested. Would you opt in for that? Absolutely. Excellent. Well, If I could show you that, I'm gonna get you connected with my consultant name, and we'll set you up for a free consultation. If you don't have a bill, grab a bill. If not, if you got the bill, great, let's get started. I just need to verify a few things. So the whole point of all of this is just to really keep this conversational, giving you some basic key words to use to set yourself up for success. If you're only merely referring your friends and family, a lot of this won't even matter. But if you're looking to potentially monetize that in a manner that's beyond just your first 3, 4, 5 friends and family, these are the techniques that we use. Again, explain the purpose so you all know the purpose of the bill. The savings for the homeowner will vary on how much they're paying and how much they use. So Powur is going to need that bill to be able to design a system to replace most or potentially all of the energy they rented from the dirty energy grid with cleaner, cheaper energy. If they don't have a paper bill, walk them through how to do it. Get on the website, go to your computer, click on View Bill, download that, email it, shoot a picture, send it over to me, whatever the case may be. Then what you can do is you can upload that when you enter that customer's information. And the only things that you're going to need is maybe a couple of ideas of what time would work for you. Coordinate that with your consultant in advance. Some consultants work off of a calendaring system, which is very effective. And some just say, just call me when you get the customer. They might even say, just put the customer on the line with me, and I'll take the rest of the information. I'll hand it off. Just work with your consultant, follow the process that's had them be successful, capture the remaining information, verify their home address, verify their best email address, verify their phone number, and verify their electric bill. Those are really simply the steps. Now, when you first get started, you're not normally going to know exactly what to say and how to do this. So you're going to be refining this to get comfortable with. Again, if you're just referring a few people, this is all irrelevant. If you're looking to build this and create more impact and create more income, this is where you want to go in. You want to record yourself. You want to kind of perfect what you're doing. Try it out on a few live prospects, your warmest contacts first, because normally you're not going to get it right the first time. And your warmest contacts, they're going to be the easiest ones to laugh about. Well, that didn't sound right. Just practice, practice, practice. That's what it's all about. I like to encourage people to use open-ended questions because they're very valuable as long as you are listening to what they say. They help to develop trust. When you're gathering that information, it helps to build rapport and credibility all at the same time. Some examples of those would be, what kind of challenges you're facing. What's the most important priority to you for going solar? Remember, there's a lot of reasons people go solar. The two most important ones are economic and environmental. See where they are. That will help you in communicating to your consultant. Hey, they're really passionate about the environment, whatever the case may be. That is really the purpose of these types of questions. What other issues are important to you? In certain markets, batteries are really important, like Northern California. That's a place where they say, hey, I was without power 3 times last year during the winds. They shut my power down. Is that important to you? So the consultant will know if that's something that they should incorporate into the savings report that they were going to give them. And then just give them basic tips. How can I help you? I'm really just trying to work you through this process. And then use the platform. Once you've made that contact, enter the contact into the Powur platform. Use the resources to track that. And it's really simple, as you can see here. You'll go through each of your contacts will be listed. It'll show you where they are in the process. Once they've done it and they've gone solar, give them a big congratulations and thank you, and collect your $1,000 for doing your part in helping us achieve our mission and vision. People use different forms of communications now. More and more people aren't answering their phone or haven't, like my children, my adult children, their voicemail is always full and they don't pick up the phone. But I can shoot them a text and they respond in a flash. It's really interesting. So just know that younger people are using them differently, perhaps, than some of us more seasoned people. I won't say older people, right? So have a little balanced strategy, a text strategy, a call strategy, and an email strategy. Balance that out with your prospects, in this case, your friends, your family members, and then become social media savvy. You can do some things on social media with just some simple posts, an invitation to go solar. Never publicly engage with somebody on this, but put the interest out there. For example, you can put a post on Facebook or on Twitter or wherever you are doing your Instagram. You know that you can go solar without spending a dime out of pocket? private message me for details. Don't get them conversing with you because it always seems to bring out the naysayers. So just say, PM me for details. And some other examples. Hey, I just started with this company, and now you can drastically cut your bill. You can increase the value of your home. You can become energy independent. You can go green. And when you go solar, you'll never deal with a rate increase from the utility ever again for the energy that's produced. PM me for details. Always PM me for details. Do you believe the world should go solar? PM me for details. Or if so, PM for details. Want to help the planet? Great, PM me for details. Just really simple examples. People say, well, how do if I don't have a big list, what do I do? Go on social media and let people know. Join little groups that are associated in your neighborhood and then post. Have you ever thought about going solar for your home? If so, PM me for details. You can even post out there, you want to stop your electric bill from continually increasing year to year. PM me for details. Just little simple teasers. And then one that I always like to do, when I first started, as a consultant, I said, in your case, I became an ambassador for company Powur. They're now operating in 20 states, and they give homeowners the opportunity to get a full solar system installed on their home with zero down and zero upfront out of pocket, at the same time eliminating the bill. It literally costs the homeowners nothing upfront, and it's a no-brainer. PM me for details. So you notice that the whole intent here is to get them to commence conversation with you, but not publicly, but more in the PM. So have consistent routines if this is what you want to do. And what I would qualify as a consistent routine is having a meaningful conversation every day. If this is your passion, you want to help the planet, help the environment, and it's a two-way conversation, not just a text, not just an email. You can utilize those like the email and calls and texts and social media, but the goal is to have an actual conversation so that you can build that rapport and you can get that electric bill and set yourself up for success. So with that, I want to welcome each of you to the Ambassador Program. Those who are listening to the recorded version, you can come to these trainings each and every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Just go to powurzoom.com, Powur zoom.com. We'll be here live to take any questions. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording. And any ambassadors who are listening to the recording, get back to your consultant and get this process started. Thanks for listening. Those who are live, stand by.